All right, y'all. My video got cut off earlier. I thought like my video was like erased completely, but my phone was like literally, my battery was so low I didn't even notice. I didn't even pay attention. But yeah, man, I'm back on this thing. I want to finish this video off because ever since I made that little clip earlier during my day, I kind of meditated on it a little bit. And, you know, I got a little energy now. And I was really, like, thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? Because I was real calm this morning when I made that clip in the beginning, right? But as I went through my day and I'm on my way home, I'm thinking to myself, I know I'm stretching it out. I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, you know what? I never feel confused about my life ever. Like, since I left a narcissistic people behind, and like, I just understand that people are like lovers of themselves, and like, they don't think that they're lovers of themselves, but they don't really think about the other person. And what the narcissist does is that they gaslight you, and then you start to think to yourself like, maybe they're right. Maybe I am selfish. Maybe I am all these terrible things, even though you know you're not. But you start thinking you're just this terrible, shitty person. And then when you realize it was them, you're like, oh, you were accusing me all these things because you wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing to you what you were going to do to me, like Judas. But then when I had that intuition, that gut feeling that I was talking about earlier, you forget about it because they're telling you, hey, I know your gut feeling, your intuition is telling you all these things and you're right on point. You're hitting the nail on it. Sometimes they even make jokes about it, like you psychic. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, maybe I'm like stupid. I'm just making up shit in my mind, right? Because I don't have any proof. And the narcissist, what's so crazy is that they know that, right? So they're like, I know that gut feeling. I know your intuition, your woman's intuition, your intuition as a human being, period, right? Is telling you these things. Even as a man, you're like, man, something off about this chick. Like, she seemed like the dream girl, but then there's something off that's throwing me off, and it just don't feel right. And I'm trying to complete that feeling. I want to feel completed. And sometimes I have moments of that when I get lost in the narcissist world. And the narcissist, they feel like the only way to get that type of love is to get lost into their world. So then you start doubting yourself, and you start feeling like it's you who's tripping, and then you start gaslighting your damn self, and then you just go into fucking insanity, and you don't care about right or wrong anymore. You lose your morals, everything. It's like you're a slave to this person, and you become aware of it. Even eventually, to some of you that stick around for years, you even become aware of it. But then it's like you have no control over your emotions anymore. Like, and they know that, so they know how to pull on your emotional heartstrings, and they know they have you because they know that even if you question things, they're not going to be punished by it because they're going to talk their way out. And to them, control is love. If you let me control you and you don't do nothing back to me, that's love. So when you feel like people are like trying to make you do things, and you're like, they're using every tactic, they're trying to pull on my trauma, that shit's not working. They're trying to pull on like the dream world, what I wish how things could be, because I am a hopeless romantic. So I know that they know that because they know I'm good. They know I still like, the reason I'm still who I am is because my light isn't off. You know what I'm saying? Like they want you to turn that shit off when they realize you got a little light in you. Even if that person is surrounded by darkness themselves and they're trying to fight their light, they'll sacrifice you to get a little bit of energy, just to have something to say about you, talk behind your back, but portraying like they're always there for you. And the more you're going through it, the more it's making them feel like they're healed, they're healing through you. But they don't want to give you credit for that. They look down on you because they're like, everything that you're doing I've already been through that. I'm not going to let that happen to me. And you're a fool. They're seeing themselves when they see you at your weakest, because they've been weak before too. Don't get it fucked up. Just because narcissists do the things that they do to you, it don't mean that they didn't go through it. That's why I always say hurt people hurt people. You know what I'm saying? But like, the narcissist is like, the more you show them you're good, it like fucks them up. And you can have glimpses and moments of that where you could tell they're fucked up, because they know you're passing all the tests of being what they always claim they wanted. But then they'll find a flaw, and then they'll build that insecurity in you to question things about people. Now you have those things that you don't trust people like that. You're testing them out. Every little thing they're doing, you're testing them out. You're like, oh, red flag, and you're just keeping track, and it pisses you off even, because you're like, why people keep playing with me like this? And you get a glimpse of what the narcissist felt. A lot of times that's when you start to forgive, because you're like, okay, I get it. But then you're like, damn, but that was fucked up what they did to me, like on such a low level where they built themselves up and they didn't even look behind, like ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? That feeling of like the ungratefulness of it all. That's what really fucks you up, the ungratefulness of it all, the boastfulness of it all. The fact that they even keep lying, they keep bringing up stuff that you might have been young and didn't even know what you were doing. They bringing up shit, anything they could bring up, they're going to be bringing that shit up. And they don't even know you. You realize, like, just how you never really knew them, they never really knew you, because the moment that you stood up for yourself, or the moment you felt tested because you couldn't take enough of their shit, and you decided, hey, this person over here, they're being nice to me, and the narcissist looks at it like, oh, that's the ultimate betrayal, because ain't nobody out here nice just to be nice. That dude just wants sex. Of course he's nice with you. So any signs of betrayal is like you're betraying them, right? And you understand, like, the loyalty you should have for someone. But the truth is that they break the loyalty to you, and then they blame you for breaking that loyalty when they broke it a long time ago, and you let them get away with it over and over and over and over again. And when you start building enough courage to speak for yourself, to say, hey, you know what? In the beginning, you sold me something else. This ain't it. And, you know, if they have supply with them, they're going to say, hey, you know, leave. I don't care. I got supply. But if they don't have supply, they're going to be playing mind games with you. Who's going to call who first? Who's going to be scheming and plotting and doing all this weird shit. And that's how you know that someone is gaslighting you. That's how you know. Because you know what? I was thinking about when I made that video earlier today, how I was saying, like, you know, how the narcissist will trick you in that gaslighting shit. The gaslighting shit is so good. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just good when people gaslight you. Like when certain narcissists gaslight you, that shit is so good, because the lie will keep going. And it's like they believe their own lie. Like they get into full character. You know what I'm saying? And when you look back, you might, as an empath, you might have moments where you lashed out, you rebelled, but you realize that's not who you are inside. And then you get a glimpse of what the narcissist was doing to you, and you're like, damn, I could hold that same power. I can do the same shit you're doing, but I don't want to hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? So you start to see how different you actually are, but how two people can have two different stories, and certain people believe one story more than the other, and instead of the truth, because their story, this narcissist story, will not change. They're going to stick to whatever story they made up to everyone, even to themselves, even though deep down inside they know. But there's this numbness, this coldness to them where they don't care about the gaslighting. That's why I was telling myself from that video earlier, I said, I always feel in control of my choices, whether it's a mistake or not. From this point on, after waking the fuck up, right? I always feel in control of my choices, my relationships, my friendships. I feel in control over my life. When shit is fucked up, I take accountability. You know, I know that certain things are happening for me, and some things are happening to test me, and some things are happening so that I can, through the suffering and the pain, I'm learning things that people can't learn, because this type of suffering is a constant suffering. You know what I'm saying? So people can sit there and be like, oh, you're a victim, you're this or that, but they won't know until they're in your shoes. And a lot of the people, they can't even walk in your shoes. They would have gave up already. They would have been like, what the fuck is the point if you're only going to get glimpses of happiness? And then when you realize those glimpses were fake, you realize you didn't even have a chance. You know what I'm saying? So then people that have a chance don't understand people that didn't even have a chance. You know what I'm saying? And when you did, and someone tried to help you out of that, a narcissist comes along and they fuck it all up because they see that someone is finally going to give you a chance and bless you. That's why they're destiny swappers, destiny killers, because once they see that moment like, oh, you're about to blow up, that's when they come. And if no one taught you these things, no one taught you about the enemy, or even when they taught you about the enemy, you're expecting a fucking man with a red tail running around, but you don't realize that, you don't understand the spiritual world as it is. You know, it's almost like a book. You know it's there. You sometimes you doubt the book because you're like, I was taught this, but then when you start seeing shit for what it is, you start seeing the evil in people, the evil eye in people, you start seeing shit manifest, and you know that you've reached a whole different dimension that certain people just they just haven't went through enough suffering to even see it. So when you get to that point, physically you might look normal to other people. They might think you don't have the knowledge that you possess, the spirituality. You don't know shit about nobody. There's strangers everywhere. So what you will see is that when you no longer feel like you have to run to people when you're hurting, or you have to run to people to tell them, hey, what do you think I should do about this? Because now you're trusting your intuition. Your intuition is saying, cut that person off, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Your intuition is telling you, like directing you, and you know you got to listen. You know every choice you're making is benefiting you, and you're not hurting anybody, or you're not trying to hurt anybody. And you know that there's people controlling certain people, so certain people might look at you a certain way, not even knowing that you're trying to protect not only yourself but even them. They don't even see that shit because you're planning ahead, and the narcissist is planning ahead too, but they're planning on how to destroy. So when they're gaslighting, most people are going to believe the narcissist, and it always boils down to the shit gonna go down, and then everyone gonna wake the hell up and then come to you, and you already know what's gonna happen. So when shit like this keeps happening over and over again, and you see shit coming, and your intuition is always on point, then you start coming around a new friend, someone you're dating, and now all of a sudden your intuition is not on point when it comes to them. Your intuition is telling you things, but they're showing you something opposite of what you're feeling. And then there's gaps of what they're doing that makes you question them, even though you really can't question them because you're still getting to know these people, right? You just see that there's no authenticity. Like, there's no authenticity. There's no realness. They're very secretive. It's like they're like an agent. It almost feels like robotic, and you're seeing through everything, and you're just like trying to figure them out. Like, and they're like, you can't figure me out. You can't figure me out. You can't figure me out. You got to spend more time with me. You got to be around me all the time to figure me out, because that's the only way. I need your energy. I need you to get close so I can get your energy first, and then you can start getting to know the real me. So you're like, man, you know, something is off about this, and they're looking at you like, no, you want something to be off about this. You want there to be a problem because you probably had problems in the past. You're questioning things because you question someone that was a bad person, and I'm a good person. And your intuition is like, a good person don't even talk like that. A good person don't even hide shit, and if they fuck with you, you can feel that they fuck with you. It's like, what do you want from me? I don't want nothing from you. I'm trying to do for you. They come very generous. You know what I'm saying? They come very generous. And they'll start, you realize my intuition was always on point until I started messing with you or talking to you, or I brought you into my world. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what your world is about to see if I can trust you in my world. And they start giving you alternatives like they're trying to make a deal with you. And I'm like, that's not real. That's not natural. That's not of this. That's of the narcissist world. And they'll tell you something different. They'll show you something different. But all of a sudden, when your intuition is telling you things, you're not on point. You're trying to cause something. You don't trust anyone. The gaslighting starts, and then that'll be like, yeah, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it is me. Maybe I'm projecting something from the past. But then you're like, how come my intuition is always on point when it comes to everyone, men and women? And then I come around this person that I actually liked, or I felt understood me, or I felt some type of connection to them. But then, like they were at my level of understanding, of knowledge. But then there's something that just feels unauthentic about them. So you're studying them. They're studying you. You understand that. But you're going to notice that when you come around certain people, you'll get a bad vibe. You feel like, oh, this person at this job, I could tell the first look they gave me, they don't like me, And you might be like, well, maybe it's all in my head. And after, they'll come at you real friendly. And you'll be like, I thought different of this person. Then later on, when they do something, or they're lying on you, or they make up something, you're like, damn, I knew something from the start. So your intuition is always on point. But then what happens is that narcissists, they get you to drop your guard, usually very quickly. And to certain people like me, we don't drop our guard at all. You know what I'm saying? And for us to drop our guard, like, we have to trust you completely. Like, we gonna sit there and play around for a minute. Okay, I'm okay, because we reading you as a person, as a human being. How you treat others, how you treat yourself. So these people will show you. A lot of people don't trust, especially in these times, a lot of people don't trust each other. So that's cool. But when someone is trying to rush you into things, or rush you into being around them, it's not, because you got to think about it. If you're cool by yourself, when you gain the type of understanding relationship with yourself, and you're cool being alone, spending time alone, you feel at peace a lot, and you don't got all this anxiety of being with a narcissist every day, and all the problems and the lying and the shit that they will accuse you of, and you finally have peace, and you realize that wasn't me. We could have been peaceful, but they were creating things that were unpleasant, and then they would say that I was creating them, and that was because they just wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. And if they knew that they weren't the type of person for you, then they should have never pretended to, and they should have never been around you, because you don't be around people you don't want to be around, that you don't like, or that you're jealous of, unless you really want something and you're that desperate. So you realize the desperation, and when you're alone, you don't have that when you finally learn how to be alone, and learn that most people are like, you share stuff with them, they're going to try to use against you, and you're okay with that at this point. You don't really care to share anything with them. And you realize you got like peace with you, and now all this confusion just starts. It's like the pressure, they try to pressure you, this pressure. They start telling you who you are, what you've been through, why you are the way. They overanalyze you and everything that you're doing. And you're just like, you have this everyday peace, so you're wondering if you want to be in that everyday peace. Why aren't you peaceful? Why are you so thirsty? Why are you trying to move fast? Why, like, if you are like me, or if you are like me and you protect your energy like me, why are you in such a rush? Like, oh, because you only live once, because you can die tomorrow. Okay, well, you could die moving slow and being good to people. You don't have to rush into nothing. Take your time. You could die tomorrow. They try to make it seem like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. We gonna have to die alone anyway, so just chill, relax. You know, but they pressure you and they're like, okay, you know, they put that pressure on you and they're like, once I put that pressure on you, then we can relax. And it's like, no, you're trying to put that pressure on me because all you want to do is say, oh, I'm in a position of control. You did what I wanted you to do. Now I can sit back because I know I got you. And now I can sit back and you gonna fight with yourself. You gonna be in self-conflict with yourself. That's all they want, is that control. And then you realize, oh man, my intuition was telling me this. My intuition was telling me, you know, lay the fuck back, like chill, like, you know, like, you don't hate these people, but like, don't put no energy into this, because it start making you question yourself or doubt yourself. So that's what narcissists do. They make you doubt yourself, and that's how they gaslight you. They tell you how you feel, what you've been through, and a lot of times they hit the nail on the head. They just don't know that you're completely healed. So once they realize you're completely healed, that's when they usually just run away, walk away. They're not putting as much energy. They're showing you they're not putting as much energy. And they want you to feel like, because they're not putting that much energy, they want you to question yourself and be like, this person ain't putting no energy at all. You know, they said, you know, live every day like it's your last, and they're probably living every day like it's their last, and I'm over here still trying to heal. That's their perception, because they're playing mind games. But you're looking at them and you're like, no, I'm not trying to live fast. You're not making me feel no type of way because you're going out. You're not making me feel no type of way. Like, everything you